There's the fake sun right over the top of my head. And this is where surveillance, federal stalking, and criminal surveillance by hovering over a senior citizen complex. This is where Alan D. Wapner's Ontario International Airport is engaged in group stalking. So, in the environment, remember, this is the same exact maintenance of the fake sun that's real at the same property. At 9:42, Ontario police are flying over my head at this apartment where the fake sun is over my head. It's still over my head right now. So let me move over so you can see where indeed is the identification of demonic terrorism by an airport in conformity to the pattern of conduct. 9:42 in the morning, 9:28 is when that video started. The entity's keeping the fake sun, remember, sunrise and sunset at Alvarado Gardens in Los Angeles, where the LAPD is doing the same thing that the Ontario International Airport is doing. It's called crossing a path, amplified audible activity while engaged in federal stalking on the internet, and they are outwardly demonstrating demon possession. In doing so, they're also incriminating the people who are living at a crime scene, and state surveillance and violation of your constitutional and human rights remains underway. Now, with regard to civilly prosecuting an entity, the people of the state Avanath community is profiting while state surveillance is underway, actively conspiring to murder and kidnap someone, while the residents are group stalking and they're paying you rent, while your employees are group stalking you and they're receiving a paycheck, while the people of the state, the government itself, including the Ontario International Airport, are in the sky space, on the ground space, group stalking. Avanath Communities is one aspect of the entity whose pockets will be drained. And you're looking at the demonic while the fake sun was here at 9:28 a.m. Hours later, it's currently 12:56 p.m. and it's right over my head at the top of my head, in conformity to the P.O.C, outside of conformity with the operation of nature. That's called amplified audible activity by airport. That's group stalking, and that's the population in your face engaged in the pattern of conduct with the state. All right, it is, again, that's demonic pacing. It is currently, again, 12:56. This whole property is going to be prosecuted, and they've been engaged in years of terrorism, documented terrorism, and they're violent sex offenders, males and females, keeping a woman under surveillance while my genitalia is exposed, stalking in planes, stalking in the ground space. While you hear a train that is impossible to hear, you're looking at, witnessing the demonic. Literally under the fake sun. These are the idiots stalking under the fake sun. This is the prosecution of the state of California. The Ontario train tracks, the Union Pacific Railway at the Ontario Museum of History and Arts is nothing that you could hear. It's also openly engaging in what would be a public nuisance if it were naturally heard. This is how the entity is showing that the entire state's engaged in that pattern of conduct. The fake sun is showing how the population is targeting you through demonic methods. And this light source, by the way, at 12:57 p.m. is not seen through the hallway window of the Hesperia's Holiday Inn, where I documented from 7:51 a.m. until 3:05 p.m. Visibly over the top of my head in the same manner, where you're looking at light activity. This is not sunlight, nor is this the sun. That would be at the same property and remains at the same property as late as 6 p.m. That's how you're looking at demons who are pacing on the ground, demons pacing in a plane, demons pacing, group stalking at an apartment complex. That's P.O.C. All right, that's exactly what the Ontario Police Department were engaging in while the entity engages in the terrorism, psychological torture, ongoing harassment, and as an entity while they're keeping you under surveillance online, which is exactly what I'm also doing on the Google Drive. And the date and time of publishing evidence while this pattern of conduct remains underway is directly relevant to the ways in which this entity will be subject to civil and criminal prosecution. This is the fake sun here at 9:28. The fake sun is here. This is, again, a series of hours, and it's at the same property, and it does not go anywhere, which is not the natural environment. It's also not simultaneously over the Courtyard by Marriott in Monrovia, the Courtyard by Marriott in Sherman Oaks, when I'm checking out during the 12 p.m. hour, the Courtyard by Marriott in Las Vegas, Nevada, when I'm checking out during the 12 p.m. hour, where the entity is maintaining a fake sun at this address, again, after 5 p.m. at the same property, but yet it's rising and setting in alignment to my bedroom window and my living room window in the morning until the evening. That's the state's P.O.C. And the airport in this city that's engaged in the pattern of conduct is fully engaged in that P.O.C. and doing so with impunity. These are idiots stalking under the fake sun, and they're monitoring the evidence that they know is being captured. That is why Alan D. Wapner is going to be removed. This is a demon. It's relevant to the criminal conduct that this airport is practicing in conformity to a statewide P.O.C. So Alan D. Wapner is not only a demon, he's a criminal engaged in public corruption, and he's engaged in what is a pattern of conduct among states and among counties. This is the P.O.C. It is 12:59 p.m.